Thank you for joining us for our April Shotsuki Hoyo Memorial Service and Adult Dharma Service. I'd like to begin by reading the names of those who have passed away in the month of April. Kinoe Adachi, Shigetaro Adachi, Shima Akiyoshi, Beatrice Akiko Bunna, Heisaku Fuji, Sakichi Fuji, Tsue Fuji, Takano Fukuda, Hiroshi Fujikawa, Kikuhei Fujimoto, Mary Fujimoto, Tsuneji Gonda, Shige Harada, Alan Hayashida, Ruth Reiko Hirabayashi, Yoshio Hiramoto, Ichiko Hirao, Akira Hirota, Tadao Hisaoka, Hamae Hori, Kijiro Hori, Misaku Horiuchi, Toshiko Ikeda, Matsu Ishikawa, Toku Kamano, Harry Kanada, Jim Kanada, Sanzo Kanagaki, Kitoe Kaneko, Kimiko Kaneshige, Pamela Kaneshige, Tadashi Kaneshige, Paul Kanzaki, Issei Kato, Charles Kawada Jr., Tora Kido, Kikutaro Kimura, Kunio Kisanuki, Ruri Kitabayashi, Joe Kiyota, Kiku Kobayashi, Sono Kobayashi, Kenso Kobori, Yasue Mae Kodani, Jun Hisako Kuge, Sannosuke Kurotori, Patty Ritsuko Lomas, Jane Matsui, Takeko Aline McVicker, George Isamu Misaki, Kyo Miyagawa, Isao Mizusaki, Miyako Mori, Toshio Mori, Takako Murakawa, Shozo Nagai, Ellen Naito, Mitsuharu Naito, Shigeo Naito, Alice Nakagawa, Jeanette Nakagawa, Fred Nakagiri, Toshiyuki Nakamura, Asano Nakano, Yoshio Nakano, Wasaburo Nakano, Yonezo Nakatani, Bernice Nakaya, Kiyoshi Nakaya, Takanori Nakayama, Jane Nishi, Hideaki Noda, Ayako Nomura, Kazue Nomura, Junko Nomura, Kikuko Nomura, Shunso Norimoto, George Okai, Taigi Oniki, Tokuzo Otaguro, Doreen Otsuka, Matsutaro Otsuka, Etsuko Ryujin, Kimi Sakai, Isa Sata, Sayoko Satake, Jukichi Seta, Shizu Seta, Fuji Setaka, Tetsuo Shigematsu, Iwao Shigemoto, Tsugio Sugimura, Kita Sumimoto, Keiko Takahashi, Takeshi Takahashi, Yozo Takahashi, Cynthia Takemoto, Pam Tamori, Shoji Tamori, Shinnosuke Tamura, Ichitaro Tanabe, Baby Tanaka, Carl Tani, Kyuzaburo Taniguchi, Yakue Terada, Iku Tsuchiya, Grace Tsujimoto, Reiichi Tsukimura, Seiichi Umemoto, Kyo Watanabe, Chujiro Watanabe, Mary Uehara, Katashi Yamabe, Minezo Yamamoto, Risaku Yamamoto, Ruth Yamamoto, Toyotaro Yamanashi, Henry Yamashita, Fred Yokoyama, Sam Yoneyama, Yone Yoshioka, Henry Yoshisato, Kiyoshi Yoshiura, George Yuto, Kei Yuto, Risaburo Yuto. Next we'll have Sutra chanting, and today we will chant Shoshinge, the kind of encapsulation of Joro Shinshu written by our founder, Shinran Shonin. It's on page 33 in the big purple BCA service book, and we should have a link for that on our website, but also in the description of the YouTube video. And during the chanting, you can sit quietly or chant along or think about your loved ones. Seiji zai obusho, token shobutsu jodoin, kokudo ninden shizen mak, 根入無常主将願長法つけう大具勢五行死有死小樹十世名所門実法不法無量無変更無下無体公縁の少女歓喜知恵子不断難事無所故超日学校小人説一切群上無故障本願名号少女語死心信行願人上等学初大涅槃必死滅度願成就如来所以公主世唯説弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会お信如来如実言の発一年期愛心不断本の徳涅槃本上逆法再演入如主心入海一味摂取信仰上昇後意の水波無明暗頓内心臓死運無上不真実心人天非如日光不運無運無資源妙無暗逆心謙虚大狂気即応超絶合悪種一切善悪本部人凡心如来偶然願仏言古代小下者善人妙分だりけみだ仏本願念仏邪見教魔なく主情信行十字人に難中死難昔インド祭天使論下中華自治域史こそ現代諸公世所意妙如来本税予期釈迦如来如我戦一種五妙難天竺龍樹大自主とせ質の財派有無権先絶大乗無情報召喚議事小安楽賢治南行六六信行異行指導楽億年弥陀仏本願次年即時入筆上唯の上昇如来語お法大偶然四天神菩薩像論説奇妙無下光如来永寿たら見真実光線王朝大誓願こういう本願力へこ移動群上昇一心気入毒大崩壊筆逆入大へ収集徳試練映像世界即小信用法精進有本の人間人図入生寺音寺を下 本師どんなんよ天使上皇南消防殺来三蔵主十上教凡上専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見性願大言猫ゆたりく少女死因有新人枠前本部新人ポツ承知承知即涅槃必死無量光明道小主上回復家同社結晶道難所有意明浄土活入万全寺力変言宗円満特語感染症三不三神経音言増末放滅道品一生増悪地偶税死安如害称名化全道独名武将医公愛上三女逆悪公明明語見人年海入本願大智慧行者少女今後心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即小法小子上楽原神公開一大教変気安女間一切先祖出身反先人法華二度小弁入極重悪人有小物我薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大無見上昇が本資源空明仏教連民全幕本無人新宗教書後編集戦弱本願無悪性現内生自人伝下決知義上位小子即入弱上無意楽必知新人意の入愚教大自主死と上際無変極上悪同族自主愚道心有意過心死高僧説 Gam ni shiku doku byodo sei sai dohon mo dai shin ojo Namandam, 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 namandam. So thank you once again for attending our April Shotsuki Hoyo monthly memorial and adult Dharma service. I'd like to deliver the Dharma talk now. I'm recording this on Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday, April 8th. According to the solar calendar anyway. And to me, this one way to understand Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday is kind of the awakening of ultimate potential. Right? That you might be a pessimist, you might be an optimist, you might be a realist, somewhere in between. Right? I find personally, in a way, I mean, some people think, and you can certainly see Buddhism as pessimistic, in that it says that, life is suffering, right? That we're surrounded by the three poisons. But to me, it's also extremely optimistic. Life is suffering. Why? Because of desire and greed and anger and ignorance, right? But it can also be, that can be overcome, right? It doesn't have to be like that. And that's Buddha, right? Buddha pointing us to this other possibility. It doesn't have to be just the life of delusion and aimless wandering, right? We can find a direction in our life, a direction towards awakening, a direction towards wisdom and compassion, not only for ourselves, but for everyone. So that's, for me, a lot of how I kind of conceive of Hanamatsuri or Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. So we had our Hanamatsuri service this past Sunday. It was a musical service, so it was a lot of fun, a little different than usual maybe. We had a kind of a musical chanting that I set up. We had our guest speaker was Damien Erskine, who is a bassist, world-class bassist, but also educator. And so I joined his website and have been trying to practice and trying to improve my bass playing, and looking at some of his videos, found a message from him about how the way you perceive yourself, the way you conceive of yourself, affects how you learn. So he was saying how he doesn't like the term amateur. He prefers enthusiast. Because if you consider yourself an amateur, then you're always considering yourself not a professional, right? Or not good enough, or I'm not this or that, right? And so it's a great talk. We also had a new gatha from one of our junior YBA grads, Miharu, and I performed bass on it, so we played that during the service. So please, if you haven't had a chance, watch the Hanamatsuri video if you feel like it. It was a lot of fun. You can go to our website and find it linked there, or you're here for Shotsuki, so you're at our YouTube channel. So it's another video here on our YouTube channel. One of the neat things about this new gatha called Little Buddha, I did post it on Damien, my bass teacher's website, or kind of a community, like a forum kind of thing. And one person I think was really affected by it. He loved the music, but he also liked the message. And I kind of didn't want to go in like proselytizing, right? But he found that message for himself, and I think it was really moving for him. So I thought that was really neat how just this one song, right, affected someone and got them to think about Buddhism, and not even Buddhism necessarily, but the message, right? The message that my attitude can affect the way I perceive things, right? That it's my attitude has such a huge impact on the world as I see it, but also the world as I interact with it. Right? And so I thought that was really neat to see how a song, right? It's not even a long song. It's only maybe 2 minutes long, and yet had an impact on this person. Today, this is a Shotsuki service, right? This memorial service for people who've passed away in April. And so another way to think of this service to me is as a tribute to them, right? A tribute, remembering them and honoring these past members of the church, right? Members of this BCO community. Now, I think a lot of times when we think of Buddhism, we think of these kind of big figures like Shakyamuni or Vasubandhu or Tanluan or Honen, Shinran, right? Renyo. That a lot of times when we, what is Buddhism? Well, it's these figures. But it's also so important to remember that without the temple, without the members, the Sangha, right, just everyday people, all different kinds of people from various times, no way. I would not have been able to encounter Shakyamuni's teachings. I would not have been able to encounter Jodo Shinshu. Right? For me personally, I heard the Dharma for the first time just kind of randomly at Palo Alto Buddhist Temple. It was a Institute of Buddhist Studies journal that showed me that there was a grad school to study Buddhism and become a minister. Right? It's because of BCA that IBS even exists, the Buddhist Churches of America. Right? Buddhist Church of Oakland, I did my internship here. BCO is a longtime supporter of BCA and IBS. Right? And so without them, no way, I would never have encountered it. Right? And so we have BCO, IBS, BCA, because in part, a big part, the names that I read at the beginning of this service. Right? Now I was kind of thinking too, this is our local Buddhist Church of Oakland Shotsuki, right? This is a local one for members here, and that's important. But to also realize that the connections go beyond boundaries that we normally think of, like this temple or that temple, my temple or your temple, right? Or this family, my family, or that family, your family, right? Now those are important too, right? But we can look further as well. So, what I'm trying to say is that I think things work on so many different levels. Maybe we could call it intersectionality. That kind of means something else maybe for a lot of people. But I think it's important maybe what I'm saying is completely obvious, right? But honor your family. Honor your loved one on this list today. But at the same time, we hear all these other names too, huh? And maybe some of them were friends of whoever it is that you're honoring. Maybe some of them, maybe even other family members on here, right? That we see all these relationships, and it's a tangled, complex web, right? Like a net or something. And so even as you honor one person or a few people on this list, right? At the same time, hear all those other names. And realize, too, that the people that you're honoring, right, that their impact was more than just you and them, right? They had this impact on so many people, even on me, even if I never met them, through IBS, BCA, for me personally, right? Different for you, right? And so those bonds, those connections are so interesting, huh? This interconnectedness or interrelatedness, right, that we talk about in Buddhism sometimes. So it's something to reflect on. One thing you could reflect on. Of course, you're reflecting on your memories of your loved one that you're honoring for this service if you're here for the Shotsuki. But we can also kind of think about these connections, right? These relationships. So I just wanted to share. Here's a formulation of what we do as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. It's a life of Nembutsu and self-reflection. Or maybe maybe that's too much. A life of Nembutsu and reflection. Right? Of course, self-reflection. Maybe the most important thing to think about is me. And it sounds egotistical, maybe. It sounds kind of self-centered, right? And yet, it's because thinking about me, but not just me as me. Thinking about me as me because of you. because of them, the names on the list, because of this temple, because of the city of Oakland, because of all these lives that have touched me, right, and that are part of who I am. That who I am is more than just me. Right? And so I think that that's included in this idea of self-reflection, but also this life of Nembutsu. Right? What's that? Well, it's partly a life of saying Namo Amida Butsu. But not just repeating it. Could I just record my voice and then play the recorder and have that do the work for me? No, it's not the mechanical recitation of Nembutsu. It's Namo Amida Butsu. Wow, what does that mean? Oh, take refuge in Amida Buddha, right? So I'm taking refuge in Amida Buddha, but it's also Amida Buddha, all the Buddhas throughout the 10 directions, all the names on this list, saying to me, take refuge in Amida Buddha. Don't just wander around amidst the 3 poisons, drunk on the 3 poisons, drunk on the on fame or money or lust or whatever, right? Don't just live a life there, right? No, realize there's more to life than just that. There's more to life than just money or power, right? There's more to life than just the material. There's wisdom and compassion, the Buddha. Right? Ultimately seeing things as they truly are and helping others, right? It's the ultimate goal. So it's about Buddha and myself, right? And this relationship and deep insight into both of those, right? Deep insight into Buddha, deep insight into Dharma, right? Realizing, things aren't necessarily as they seem, right? And then deep insight into myself. Whoa, maybe the way I perceive things isn't 100% the way it really is. Maybe I'm being selfish. Maybe I'm being arrogant. Maybe I'm totally wrong, right? Maybe I'm hurting people. Maybe I'm hurting myself. But the neat thing is that Buddha accepts me as I am, even as I do all those things, right? That it's not, I shouldn't feel like I'm a bad person when I see, oh my gosh, I can be selfish or I can be mean. Oh, I'm terrible. No way, Buddha accept me. No, Buddha accepts you as you are. But when we realize that, maybe that's when change becomes possible. Right? Even though I continue to make the same mistakes, maybe different, huh? I think we become transformed when we awaken to this embrace of the Buddha. Right? When we awaken to this bigger picture beyond just me. Right? So I thought it was simple, huh? Life of Nembutsu and self-reflection, deep insight into Dharma and myself. But of course, that's just one formulation, and there are all these different levels. But I like to think all those names that I read during the intro, our April Shotsuki list, right? They're part of this too. They're part of that Dharma, right? And they're part of me. And so I really want to thank you for joining us for our April Shotsuki Hoyo, this monthly memorial service, and also Dharma, right? Adult Dharma service, right? So Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday, right? The potential for awakening, the potential for something bigger than just the material world, than just our base desires, right? So please view that video if you get the chance. Also, this tribute to our members, right, our April members, and realizing how important they are, right, realizing that they're part of my life, part of your life, right? And of course, this life of Nembutsu and self-reflection. So, as we conclude, let's recite the Nembutsu, recite Buddha's name, as we embark on this life of deepening insight into the Buddha Dharma, into our own lives. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Okay, thank you, everyone. Our pets memorial is not today; it's next weekend. And it's too late to get a new pet in, but if you want to participate, of course you can. It's just kind of a regular Dharma family service. And then in May, we've got some events coming up. So please check out the website, BuddhistChurchofOakland.org, If you're not on the mailing list and you want to be, you can sign up through there and leave a note and let us know. Are you part of BCO community, or you just want to be on the mailing list just as kind of friend of BCO? And then also our YouTube videos are linked from the BCO website, BuddhistChurchofOakland.org, or you can go directly to YouTube. You're already there, right? You're watching this. So take care, everyone. Thank you very much. And this will conclude our service. And then we'll have the virtual incense offering afterwards. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda.